Okay. I'm going to explain addiction to people who aren't addicted. The closest example that I can come to is this. Imagine this. I want you to close your eyes. If you want to really know what an addict goes through, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine you're in the middle of Antarctica. No one around. No one around. You're walking. It's minus 30 outside. You're freezing, so cold that you can barely stand it. And the only and sick to your stomach. You feel like you need to throw up. You feel like you're going to have diarrhea. You're in the middle of nowhere. You don't know where the closest house is or where the closest hope for salvation is. So you're walking in this cold trying to find any sort of hope. And you see this cabin. And inside the windows are foggy, so you can see it's tempting to want to go towards that house. You see coffins being carried away from the back door, being put into the hearse and driven away. But you know that freedom from the cold and sickness and loneliness could be back right behind that door. You walk up to the porch and you're standing on the porch. Your stomach's sick. You're sweating because your coat's not the right coat. It's got you so hot that you're sweating. The sweat is making you even colder. Your anxiety is up so high because you have no clue where you're at, where you're going, what you're doing, or who can support you where you're at. And on that porch, you start to put your hand on the doorknob and it's warm and you're about to walk into the most warm home you can tell. And here comes your family. Your family coming from around the side. Don't you dare open that door. You open that door and I'll leave you. And in your mind, all you can think of are the times you helped her or him, and you're mad because they don't want you to experience relief from the pain that you've helped them go through so many times. And all you're thinking about is getting relief from the deep, deep, dark pain that you feel on a daily basis. And not everyone feels pain. Not everyone does drugs because they feel pain. A lot of people are just selfish and they just do drugs because they would just want to do drugs. And they get addicted. Those are different kinds of people. I'm talking about the ones that don't really want to be on drugs, but are physically and mentally addicted to the substance. And you stay on that doorstep. And the only way away from the people, your family, that are yelling at you to not go in that house is to go in the house. So you open the door and you walk in the house. And it's the warmest, coziest, cleanest, most beautiful home you've ever stepped foot in. And it says welcome in your name. And everyone in there loves you. They run to you. They run you a hot bath. Your warm, hot food is on the table waiting for you to sit down and just indulge. You're happy because all the favorite people are around. You're all talking and loving on each other. And it's a party just for you. All because you opened the door. And then it goes black and nothing. And you're carried out in a casket out the back door. That is the reality of an addict's life. Behind the door is the drug. The porch was the choice. I am not trying to gain sympathy for an addict, but once you experience the warmth of a home, once you experience the warmth of that drug, the acceptance it gives you, the feeling of euphoria in your brain that everything's going to be okay. That's the drug. That's what it does. You get in that home and it suffocates the life out of you without you even knowing it. All you're doing is getting warm. I remember being small and being taught to run from the roar. To run to the roar. And it means not to be afraid. It's the way lions hunt. They sort of, the babies go over here and they roar really loud. And it's when their parents are trying to teach them to roar. But they use it as a hunting technique. And that baby tiger, when they get loud enough, it scares prey towards where the parent is waiting, stalking for food. And their prey runs from the loudness, and the fear from that roar runs them right into pain and death and hurt and destruction. But they don't know it. It's not like they're doing it on purpose. It's not like they don't love you. But within every single person, there's a line that's usually crossed where, okay, I'm going to live for me. And when an addict has no sense of self, no sense of self-esteem, no feelings of worth or a future or hope of a future, that's what they turn to. A lot of the times drug addicts can be diagnosed as depressed as kids. But anyways, let's get on. I just want, maybe that will help you understand what you or a loved one is going through. But if you have any questions about addiction or what it's like to be addicted or how to respond or react to someone who is addicted to try to get them help, leave your questions and comments below. I've had intervention done on me before, and I kind of understand how it works and why. And I just want to start talking about this. Drugs are so, you can hide them so easily, but yet the person who is the drug addict, once the family finds out, the drug addict is blamed for everything that happens in the family. And a drug addict, I've always said, is just a leader who hasn't been given their reins yet. And they're too humble to take the reins. And so education and wisdom is needed. It's not, these people aren't bad. Some of them are the smartest people you ever meet in your life. And they feel like life can never give them what they want from it. And so to hide that disgust and pain, they cover it up with drugs instead of try for something that's there. They lack hope and encouragement. And I'm in recovery. I just kind of want to update this channel every now how I'm doing. I'm down to 1 milligram twice a day on Suboxone, and I am doing really well. I've come off a lot of drugs, and I'm living pretty much alone. I'm dealing with a lot of emotional hindrances from past relationships, abusive relationships. So I am seeing a counselor and a doctor and trying to save myself for my kids, because not just for my kids, but for me, so that I can be here on this earth for my kids. If they ever have the same problem, I never want my kids to feel as lonely and as hurt and as broken as I have. And that's another good thing about an addict is they're there. They can feel what someone else is going through when that someone is in pain, because they've felt it times 100. So we're here for a purpose. Addicts are here for a reason. We're strong. We have a strength that no one else on earth has. And we need to stick together. So hang out with me